Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into online learning. Today we'll be focusing on creating engaging intro videos for online courses.
Sounds fascinating.
We have a great guide for this deep dive.
Ugh.
An article by Patricia Regier.
Oh, of Regier Education.
The one and only. She's a true expert in this field.
She really emphasizes that intro videos are about more than just the content itself. It's about connecting with the learner right from the beginning.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. When I'm starting a new course, seeing the instructor on video makes me feel so much more welcome.
It's about fostering a sense of community, making the learner feel like they're part of something bigger.
So the delivery and the overall feeling are just as important as the content itself.
Exactly.
What about production quality? Do these videos need to be super polished?
Regier recommends a balance. The main course intro might benefit from a more professional feel,
Makes sense.
while individual module intros can be a bit more relaxed.
Gotcha. So we don't need a Hollywood studio,
Right.
but we also don't want to be filming in the dark.
Right. But no matter what, good lighting, clear audio, and decent camera quality are non-negotiable.
Definitely. Now let's talk engagement. How can we make those intro videos really captivating?
Let's dive into some strategies. Regier highlights direct address.
Interesting. What's that?
It involves looking directly into the camera and speaking as if to one person.
Oh, I get it. Like you're having a one-on-one conversation.
Exactly. It creates a sense of intimacy and connection. Then there's relatability.
So more than just a welcome message.
It's about acknowledging the learner's context,
Yeah.
using conversational language, maybe even mentioning the platform they're on.
Bringing the learner into the conversation. Breaking down those digital walls. I like it.
And don't forget about social learning. Encourage learners to continue the conversation beyond the course itself.
Through social media or discussion forums?
Exactly. It creates that sense of community we were talking about.
Building a learning community is so important.
Yeah.
What else does Regier suggest?
The last strategy is interactivity.
Quizzes, prompts, things like that.
You got it. It's about making the learner an active participant rather than just a passive viewer.
I love that. It's about turning viewers into active learners.
It's about going beyond just watching.
Now, what about the instructor's energy level?
Oh, that's so important.
If the instructor isn't excited about the material, how can they expect their students to be?
Regier talks about conveying your passion. When you're genuinely interested, it shows.
He reminds me of those professors who were so passionate that you couldn't help but get drawn in.
Their enthusiasm was contagious.
Exactly. It can really make or break a course.
She also encourages sharing your motivations for creating the course.
Show why the content matters.
And explain how it fills gaps that other programs might miss.
It's about bringing your own unique perspective to the table.
Now, one more thing. To make it even more engaging, personalize your approach.
Make it less textbook and more you.
Exactly. It's what makes your course stand out from the crowd.
I see. So it's about finding your voice as an instructor.
Think about the best online courses you've taken. What made them so special?
Those are the elements we need to focus on.
How can you apply those elements to your own videos?
That's a great question to consider. It encourages us to reflect on our own learning experiences.
Absolutely.
Or those elements that really resonated with us.
And how can we recreate them? Those impactful courses often use a good mix of written content and videos.
Yeah, I agree. Having that variety helps keep things interesting.
Exactly. It's all about maintaining that focus. Regier even mentions using talking head videos.
Like where the instructor just explains a concept on camera.
Exactly. It's a really effective way to break down complex information.
And it adds that human element, which I think is so important.
Much better than a robotic voiceover, right?
Absolutely. It makes the information more digestible. Now, beyond just presenting the content, how do we encourage actual learning?
Regier suggests prompting learners to share what they've learned.
Oh, like through discussions or social media?
Exactly. It could even be as simple as a conversation with a colleague.
It turns learning into a more interactive experience.
And it transforms it from a solitary activity into a shared one.
Now, one thing that's not specifically mentioned in the article, but I think is crucial, is accessibility.
Absolutely. We need to make sure these courses are accessible to everyone.
Regardless of their abilities.
Exactly. That means things like captions for videos, transcripts, and making sure the platform is easy to navigate.
We need to create an inclusive learning environment where everyone feels welcome.
Right, where everyone feels supported. And remember, creating engaging online content is an ongoing process.
There's always room for improvement, right?
Exactly. So don't be afraid to try new things, experiment, and see what works best for your learners.
Because the online learning landscape is constantly changing.
We need to be adaptable.
We have to be lifelong learners ourselves.
Hmm.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on something Regier mentioned about conveying your unique perspective.
It's about finding your voice as an online educator,
It's what makes your course different from all the others.
showcasing your passions, sharing those unique insights you have.
It's about authenticity.
Now, here's something for you to think about.
Okay, I'm listening.
What are those key elements that create a sense of community in an online learning environment?
That's a really important question,
How can we cultivate that feeling of connection among learners?
because ultimately that's what makes online learning so powerful.
The chance to connect with people from all over.
Who share a passion for learning. And who knows, maybe you'll even inspire someone to create their own online course.
And share their knowledge with the world. It's beautiful, isn't it? That ripple effect of learning.
Starting with just one engaging video, creating that virtual classroom where everyone feels comfortable sharing and interacting.
And to build that connection, let's circle back to a simple but often overlooked tip from Regier.
I'm all ears.
It's about looking directly into the camera when you're recording.
It sounds so basic, but it really does make a difference.
It creates that all-important sense of presence and authenticity, even in a virtual environment.
It's like you're speaking directly to the individual learner on the other side of the screen.
Exactly. You're showing them that you're present, engaged, and genuinely invested in connecting with them.
I can't tell you how many videos I've watched where the speaker is looking off to the side or down at their notes. It's so distracting.
It breaks that connection and makes the viewer feel like they're not truly part of the experience.
Exactly. And we want the opposite, right? We want our learners to feel seen and heard.
We want to create that sense of intimacy and trust that's so essential for effective learning.
Eye contact is such a powerful tool for conveying those feelings, even through a screen.
It's like that feeling you get when you're talking to someone and you can tell they're really listening because their eyes are focused on you.
It makes you feel valued and understood.
And that's the kind of connection we want to foster in online courses. So to all the course creators out there, remember this. When you're recording, look into that camera.
Connect with your audience.
Let them see your passion and your genuine desire to share your knowledge.
Because that's what elevates online learning beyond simply consuming information. It's about making those human connections that can spark inspiration and lead to real growth.
As we wrap up our deep dive today, we want to leave you with this. Think about the times you've felt truly inspired by something you learned online.
What made those experiences so memorable? What sparked that excitement and desire to learn more?
And how can you create that same magic for your own learners? The power is in your hands.
That's it for this deep dive. We hope you found it valuable. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep sharing your knowledge with the world.